Giddy up, it's time for another episode of Drive by Dan. I am on my way to pick up our special guest today. This guy's been in the industry for just over 3 years. He's on track to write $3 million GCI this year and makes absolutely no prospecting calls. He is an incredible marketer of his own brand and has built an attraction business very, very quickly. But something that you might not know about him is that he is a huge cricket buff, player, fan, etc. And when he plays, he's ambidextrous. He can bat left and right-handed. So, let's get him in the car. Mr. Luke Humphrys.
Dan the man.
Dan the man. Good morning.
Hello. How you going?
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers.
These are the first keep cups I've ever had on Drive by Dan.
Bit of branding.
Do I get to keep the cup?
Yes.
Oh.
Just $12.
Oh.
F-Boss.
Always in it for a buck, aren't you? Now, what are we drinking today, my friend?
Plain old latte, no sugar. Obviously, that's how I keep my thin frame.
Mate, what'd you do before real estate?
18, I was going to England to play cricket and got my second stress fracture from batting this time and knew that it just wasn't going to work out.
Yeah.
So jumped over into the automotive industry and I started there in marketing and finance for 12 years, and then ASIC kind of cut our commissions by 84%, and I wasn't going to get up out of bed for 45 grand a year. So I jumped into real estate with an 8-week-old.
Gone from cars to real estate.
Yep, pretty much.
How do your kids look at you?
I'm next going to be a lawyer.
Or a sex worker. Isn't it incredible though? I mean, it's such an amazing industry. Why does it always appear at the bottom of those lists?
Yep.
You know, politicians, sex workers, real estate agents, car salesmen. Why?
It's a very quick course, that's why.
Yeah.
3 days.
How did you find the transition? What did you do? Because you got established really quickly.
My whole thing is about Coca-Cola and McDonald's. How does a suburb know what Coca-Cola and McDonald's is? And that's your job as an agent, is to get yourself known as the Coca-Cola and McDonald's. Like, how does everyone in a household know that?
Yeah.
Very powerful video from Alex Jordan when I was learning, when I was doing my course, when I was still in automotive, thinking about doing it. And it was that whole 700 houses, put CMA's flyers, make that 700 houses know who you are. And that, I just copied it.
Yeah.
The patch back then was 2,000. And so I just did 2,000 drops every morning, 5 o'clock. I even did something so illegal once. I got in so much trouble for it.
You know we're recording.
Photo imaged a sold sign with our branding on the front of everyone's house and mailed it to them.
How many prospecting calls do you make?
Never. I've never made one.
Ever?
Never.
First 6 months?
Never. Nah.
So you know what I find so interesting about your approach is that you just market. I mean, I suppose you could say, and I'm not advocating against prospecting calls because I actually do believe in prospecting calls. However, you could argue, well, McDonald's don't make prospecting calls. Oh, g'day, it's Jeff from Macca's, mate. We got Big Macs on special tonight. Hey, let's talk about video, because you've really embraced video and you've got a real style with your videos. What got you into video and what's kept you doing video?
Return on investment, and we talk about return on investment for the vendors and for ourselves, and
Yep.
it's the same thing. You know, by telling the vendor that there's a science behind what we do and how we do it,
Yep.
you don't have to be hilarious. That was a bit accidental, to be fair.
Yeah, okay.
But it's just something that we grew off, and it helps me brand myself and the video and creates emotional connection if it's something in the video.
Yeah.
And you can play on it.
Yeah. You
get the buyer really excited. My first videos, Dave's first videos were awful.
Yeah, right.
You know, nerve-wracking, but they're the start of our careers. But just do anything. You know, if you can pop behind a boat or stand up or do something just to create a little bit of engagement.
Yes.
Use that thumbnail, put it on social media, and you're getting yourself and your vendors a better result.
Final question on marketing. How much do you invest back into marketing as a percentage of your overall GCI?
It's skewed a bit now. 10% in the good times last year.
Okay.
I'm probably at 16 to 17% now.
Oh, so you've increased it.
Yep.
Right, so the market's slowing down. You're
About to drive past a billboard, big one.
One of your billboards?
Yeah.
let's check it out. A lot of people have been reducing their marketing spend as the market is slowing down.
Yep.
Why have you increased it?
I paused in June, July just to sit back, make some observation. We redid a marketing plan.
Okay.
And I'm not giving up. You know, so it doesn't matter what area you sell in, people still need a real estate agent. And we've set up automated things. Now, I do prospect through database now, but not through phone calls, but through clever, text messages and everything like that.
Yep.
So we're working on database really hard in terms of finding prospective vendors and all that. So I wouldn't say we're zero prospecting, but we're not door knocking or ringing people to sell.
Here's your billboard.
Uh-oh.
Ah, look at this. Number 1 in 3 suburbs: Thornside, Birkdale, Wellington Point. Nice one.
Well, I knew you didn't like. You said don't put a
It
number one
wouldn't
up
be a
there.
good billboard without us telling you how good we
Yeah,
are.
that's the
Nice.
bit that's just douses the egotistical side. Because I know you said don't put anything egotistical up there, so I took half of your advice.
Yeah. Hey, another decision that you've made in the last 12 months is the decision to start your own business and your own brand.
Yep.
So you were with a franchise group, and
Yep.
then you've made the decision to go out on your own. First up, why?
I think the red tape on a lot of things, getting emails about saying don't say this, don't do beeps in your videos, don't do this, and then this area I want to take on, there's no one in this patch, I don't think you should do that. That's that holding back kind of philosophy.
Yeah.
Whereas me and Dave have such a great ethos together, and similar marketing strategies. It's just nice not being told no.
Yeah.
That's the big thing.
Yep.
And we love selling and we love selling and marketing. And the one thing you guys let us do is sell and market with none of the admin stuff. It's just one of those wonderful machines where you send an email and it gets answered, and you don't know who sometimes is going to be answered, if they're sick or they've got something on, but it gets done. The brochures are getting done. Right now we're putting on a very exciting listing in Wellington Point. And the brochures are being done, the signboard, whilst I'm sitting in here talking to you.
I started to think about life a bit like your iPhone battery, right? You get up in the morning and it's fully charged, and every time you take a call or whatever, it's starting to drain your battery. Like,
Yep.
there's only so many things in a day it can handle.
Yep.
And I think we're actually the same. We've got these batteries,
Yep.
and you get up and yeah, I can do that myself, and yeah, I can do that myself, and yeah, I can do that myself. But every sort of extra thing that I'm doing
Yep.
just starts to drain that battery. And if you can start to get other people to do that stuff for you, and you don't need to worry about managing those people either, you just have more juice
Yep.
left to go and pursue what you're more interested in. Like, how scared were you? Like, I
Terrified.
spoke to someone that didn't sleep for 2 nights before they decided to go out on their own.
Oh yeah, look, it's also just the fact that it's yours. So if it doesn't work out, it could be embarrassing. Like all those
It is embarrassing.
all those judgy things that you put on yourself. It's like kind of being a teenager again and going through puberty. But the whole world can see, and all your competitors are like, oh,
All your pimples are coming out.
They're not going to work. These
Your
guys
voice
are
is
crazy.
breaking.
So yeah, like it was terrifying. But then you turn up to the very first day and there's professional emails and email signatures, and then vendors are getting email from your finance department and everything, and it just starts to feel like this is the right thing to do. And it was very quick. It took us a week to basically feel like we were on our feet, although we were rushed a bit from the normal time frames. It got us straight into the mindset of not worrying about the prospect of failure, worrying about getting those and marketing those 20 sold.
So what are you doing differently in this market?
Like our marketing went from 4,400 now to 4,850, and getting it in front of eyes, it's just starting to show that it is really important.
Yep.
I'd say that June, July, a lot of people were like, it should still sell, but now they're realizing it's not selling, and marketing is hugely important, and price strategy.
Yep.
Like if you're sitting there for 90 days with no price, don't even bother.
Yep.
You got to put prices on. You got to have strategy and have confidence in your listing presentation, saying this is what I'm doing, this is what the competitors aren't doing, and if they're not putting prices on, they're probably just guessing.
Yeah.
So but buyers are not putting up with anything at the moment. You got to be absolute A1. Answer the call. Don't be late. Don't smell at an open, and that's what we promise all of our vendors when we.
You promise you won't smell?
No.
If you could go back to day one in your real estate journey with everything that you've learned over the past years and give yourself one piece of advice, what would it be?
Triple the marketing budget.
Yep.
If my marketing budget was $3,000 a month back then, I would have gone to $9,000 and done the same thing over and over. So probably that. And I mean, if we're talking about 2020, I would have bought a lot more property back then and then resold it in 2021.
Yeah. We could have paid for the marketing budget.
So yeah, no, just would have done more marketing, spent a bit more money, and yeah, that's about it.
Mate, I think it's brilliant advice. massively appreciate your time.
No worries.
Thank you for the coffee.
Thanks very much.
Thank you for the cup as
No
well.
worries. Yeah, that's yours. $12.
$12.